Hi, I'm Fergus March and this is the Green Energy News Review. Google have just announced that the number of people searching for climate change on the net has dropped by 84% in the last 7 years. Are people losing interest? Fatigued by vacuous arguments, political intervention and weirdos ranting in online videos? A story in The Guardian tells us that in the US, researchers from the Yale Project on Climate Change Communications and the George Mason University Center for Climate Change Communications said that if you want to engage someone in a conversation about climate change, as Barack Obama and his campaigners are seeking to do currently, for God's sake, don't use the phrase climate change. According to new research, Americans will respond much more fiercely to the term global warming, which triggers images of and of course reactions relating to extreme weather conditions. In fact, 13% of respondents were more likely to say global warming was a bad thing than climate change, with that number rising to 30% amongst Latinos and 20% amongst African Americans, two ethnic groups which tend not to have a majority Republican presence. Now, George W. Bush's administration was advised to stop using the phrase global warming altogether because of its negative connotations. Then Barack Obama has stuck to positive language, speaking of green jobs and clean energy. Other phrases such as climate crisis and global weirding stick out too. Meanwhile, in the UK, Cider UK, a major trash collector, said that recycling rates are down for the first time in a decade, according to the London Times. They attribute this both to falling usage of paper and glass, but also to green fatigue. Now, this comes at the same time as The Telegraph reporting that the government's chief climate change advisor, Lord Debon, has suggested that the UK has approved enough wind turbines to meet emissions targets for 2030. Now, that's good news, unless that, along with green fatigue, we have an excuse to stop approving more, as there's always so much more to be done. For example, The Guardian reports that a paper released today by Environment Justice Australia states that 3,000 people die prematurely from air pollution in Australia every year. The WHO released a report in March stating that air pollution caused more deaths worldwide than AIDS, diabetes and road injuries combined and is responsible for 1 in 8 of total global deaths. Now, Australia have dealt with their road accident issues with multi-million-dollar safety awareness campaigns. Likewise, a massive and expensive shark cull was launched, despite rates hitting only 194 shark-related deaths since 1788. The fact that nothing similar has been done with the air pollution crisis might be down to the fact that it's the poor and disadvantaged who are primarily affected, as opposed to people who might wield any power over policy and can therefore claim green fatigue. But if China can do it, Australia can. According to The Guardian, the Chinese government announced plans to scrap 6 million vehicles to reduce the country's air pollution problems. The move is part of a plan published by China's cabinet, the State Council, which outlined emission targets for a number of industries over the next 2 years. The State Council said that some pollution targets are not being met for the period and that action needs to be stepped up. Well, it's good to know someone's doing something right. China certainly doesn't seem to be suffering from green fatigue just yet. Thanks for watching.